Welcome to Tonacheki's Africa News Brief. This is Mike Mushi, and in today's Africa News, 5 of the world's largest tech companies have been accused of aiding in the death of African children while forcing them to mine cobalt. Okay, so the companies in questions were Tesla. You all know Tesla, they make electrical cars. Apple, I'm sure most of you are watching this with Apple devices. Google, which is like Alphabet. So Alphabet includes Google, YouTube, Gmail, anything made by Google. Okay, and Dell. Okay, so those companies have been accused in a U.S. law court for aiding in the death of I think it was 5 African children and harming 14 others. The legal complaint came from 14 families from the Democratic Republic of Congo and filed to the U.S. District Court in Washington D.C, where these multinational companies are based. So you might be asking, what is this cobalt that they mine and what is it used for? So cobalt is like a metallic element that is used for lithium-ion batteries. Okay, it aids in making of these batteries that are used in all your smartphones, in electric cars, in laptops. Okay, so based on recent research, the demand of cobalt, which is more than half of it, is usually mined in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So you can imagine, out of all of the world, most of the cobalt that exists in this planet comes from the DRC. So this brings in a lot of demand, a lot of like hungry companies wanting it, and the report is stuck because it says right now the world uses 7% of cobalt, okay, but the report says more in the next decade, like the demand will go from 15% and above, okay. Yeah, so that's what cobalt is used for, and that's why it's so much in demand in these large tech companies. Okay. So what are these companies actually accused of? The companies are accused of being part of a system of forced labor that the families claimed led to the death and serious injuries of their children. It has marked the first time the tech industry has jointly faced legal action over the source of its cobalt. Okay. 6 of the 14 children in the case were killed in tunnel collapses, and the others suffered life-altering injuries, including paralysis. To make matters worse, when the companies were contacted about the lawsuits that they are facing, all they could say is that they had no knowledge that the source of the cobalt was gotten in this way. Okay, so how mean is that? Like it's not like they're saying they didn't do it or they did it. It's just they're like, oops, we didn't know. Okay, so technically, all your Apple devices, all like your fancy Tesla cars, all your, like your fancy laptops, all your Google Pixel phones, okay, come from the blood of African children, okay? So that's what the lawsuit is accusing those companies for, okay? And also the British company that is in charge of the mine in DRC Congo is also part of the lawsuit, okay? We'll put the more information in the descriptions below if you want to follow up the case and how it will go, okay? So let's discuss. Do you use any of these products? Do you have a Tesla? Do you have an iPhone? Do you have a Google Pixel? Do you use Google? Do you use Apple? Do you have a Dell computer? Okay, let us know in the comments below. So the question is, why isn't this news in the mainstream media? Why isn't anybody reporting on this? Why isn't most of like the CNNs, the BBC, on the case? Because technically it's African and technically it's huge multinationals. They have nothing to gain by telling them the devices they use, the cars they drive come from the blood and sweat of, and this is like literal, this is like actually the blood and sweat of African children who are being forced to work in these mines, okay? And also, we're not saying the DRC government is not to blame. They should be regulating the mining industry. They should be monitoring what happens in this mine. Like there should be no children like in the mines, yeah. So technically, like everybody's at fault. The DRC government for allowing this to happen. The British company that's actually sourcing the cobalt using child labor to these companies, and also the 5 multinational tech companies that are buying this cobalt, not knowing where it's coming from, and the only excuse they have is, oops, we didn't know where our cobalt that we make billions, and this time is, not like billions, like, a random number billions. It's actually billions, and in case for Apple, it's trillions, right? Okay. And also another discussion question is, do you think these companies know where the cobalt comes from underage children working in the mines, and they just don't care? The bottom line is more important than making sure the mine, there are no miners in the mine. Okay. Another discussion question: is it even possible to boycott these companies, right? Because Tunachiki is on YouTube, which is owned by Google, right? I cannot say let's boycott Google because where will we post our videos, right? Where will you watch these videos? Because most of these companies sell you the products that you're using. So is it even possible to boycott these multinational tech companies? Because technically they are controlling the world. Okay. Another question, is this modern day slavery, right? Is this neocolonialism, right? African children are being forced to work for these large companies, and technically nobody can do anything about it. The media cannot do anything about it. The huge countries, even the world powers, can't do anything about it. They tried. How many times has Mark Zuckerberg and Sundar Pichai been in Congress this year? So the question is this neocolonialism, right? We're being forced to do something we don't want to do, but technically we can't, we can't fight back, right? It's these huge companies, right? Another discussion question: do you think there's a way out, right? How can you help these children, right? First, maybe is share this video with anybody you know, okay? Let's put these companies in the limelight, okay? Because the law, they're not afraid of the law. They can easily buy out anybody who sues them, right? They're not afraid of technically they're all powerful. So the only way we can do maybe is try to shame them to changing their habits, right? Share this video, make people know what these companies are doing. They're using small African children to technically produce their products, right? So these are just the 5 of the largest tech companies in the world, but still, the report and the lawsuit didn't touch on China and South Korea. Are Samsung and the other mobile phone makers, do they get their cobalt in a sustainable humane way, right? So this focus more on the 5 American companies, right? And the question is, because cobalt will be in more demand and meaning these companies want it more, right? Is there hope for DR Congo? Can DR Congo make can DR Congo make changes in their laws that won't allow children to be in the mines? Okay, so let us know in the comments below about this story. It was really disheartening, and technically, because most of the stories we cover here, technically we can do something little about it, but here we are totally powerless. Okay, so share this video with friends and family, and let's try to shame this company. The more you know, the more you can make a change. Okay. So that's it for today, and thank you for all our new Patreon supporters. This month we got 5 new Patreon supporters. Okay, so the new Patreon supporters are Negas. Thank you for supporting us, Negas. Mava Clark, also Megan, and Carol Lagache, and Willard Salter. Okay, thank you so much for your support. It really goes a long way. And please make sure to catch us in the next video. And yeah, thanks for watching.